obviously I'm going to show Jaden Hardy highlights while I talk about him. It's not like I'm going to be showing Jaden Smith highlights, you feel me? But I just want y'all to know that these highlights you see from him don't really do his game justice. This is not only coming from myself, who has played Jaden Hardy, but my brother, who I invited to record with me because he's also played Jaden. So John, I appreciate you being here. About to be a senior, ranked #1 in the nation. But he goes to Green Valley High School, and Green Valley and Coronado have been rivals forever. I played at Green Valley High School, give or take, if you consider PT. Anyway, we're not gonna get into my playing time right now. But no, I just wanted to have my brother here too, because what better analysis than from two people who have played him and watched this game, you feel me? So yeah, I appreciate you being here, John. Like I told you off camera, feel free to chime in whenever you want to. Feel free to say whatever you want, whether you agree, you disagree. I don't really care. I want to hear your opinion. So yeah, but I have a future #1 draft pick sitting right next to me. So the first thing I want to point out about Jaden's game is that he's a very multi-dimensional type of player. I remember being in the locker room before playing him, and the scouting report was basically just that he can score the ball at will. And we're in a zone. I remember we're just in the first quarter, and Buddy had 3 of those assists that no one else sees coming. I'm talking about the assists where your entire bench stands up because no one else saw that open man except the person who made the pass. Jaden was only a freshman and I was a senior, and I remember thinking, wow, this guy is a way better point guard than I am, but we're at least not letting him score right now, which is pretty good. So we're forcing him to get his teammates involved, and I think we're holding him to like 2 or 3 points here and there. Anyway, turns out as a freshman, he had 25 on us at half. So what does that tell us about Jaden? It doesn't matter what the defense throws at him. I don't know how to explain the fact that he had 25 points in the half, and I thought he had around 12 max. But the fact that he was throwing these beautiful passes and had 25 in just the first half as a freshman is proof that he can score the ball so easily, you don't even notice him getting buckets. That's the thing. What do you have to say about that? You played him a lot more recently than I did, so is he a good scorer? What would you say?
Yeah, he's a great scorer. So my sophomore year, he busted us both times, right? But then my junior year, which was this year, so him in my junior year, right? We ended up playing, I think, the first home game. Like, he didn't do what like a Kentucky commit should like be playing like. I think we held him to like 8 points.
True, I was at that game. I was watching. Yeah.
Like, it might not be 8 exactly, but I knew it was
8. Yeah.
It was 8?
Yeah, it was 8. I was so surprised because a bunch of people were there to watch Jaden Hardy. I kid you not. Like he said, this was a home game, okay?
For us.
Yeah, for Green Valley, right? And the people in the Green Valley stands cheered louder for Jaden Hardy when his name was called out in the warm-ups. Sorry, not in the warm-ups, in the starting lineup. Then they cheered for like anyone at Green Valley. And this was at Green Valley, a Green Valley home game. So everybody was there to see Jaden go off for like 60 points. And Green Valley held him to 8 points. And that's something I am going to talk about later on in the video when I talk about strengths and weaknesses. But yeah, you know, you guys are rivals. I'm sure you brought that up first things first. So next time y'all play, you have to give him at least 25. I mean, that's kind of the way it works. And you're a few inches taller than him, right?
How tall is he? 6?
He's listed at 6'4", but when I saw you guys on the court at the same time, you looked like you were at least 2 inches taller than him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 6'3", but you know, like honest 6'3". So that's not measured with shoes. So I don't know how Coronado is doing their measuring or how Nike EYBL does their measuring, but they could be stretching it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, even if Jaden was like 6 foot, I mean, let's say he was like 5'3", right? You're gonna see this dude is so offensively skilled, he would still be getting buckets if he was Julian Newman's height. So I don't really think it matters if he's 6'4", 6'3", whatever. The dude is a bucket, but you guys are gonna find out about that for yourselves. Just like we kind of found out the hard way.
Yeah. Like, one thing I remember my sophomore year, right? He got a couple quick fouls off of charges and stuff. And then he ended up talking to his coach and subbing himself out the game. That was one thing I do remember my sophomore year. It was a away game for us, home game for them. He ended up subbing himself out. But I do remember one of my teammates was like, one of my teammates was a senior when Jaden Hardy was a sophomore. And he thought he was gonna guard him. He thought he was gonna lock him up. Jaden Hardy calls ISO, middle of the play.
Who's
ISO.
this? I can bleep his name out. Oh my god. Of course. Oh my god.
So he thought, he was like, hey, So in the timeout right before, he's like, I got Jaden Hardy. No one has Jaden Hardy. And so essentially what happened is he like hit him 3 times. You know, like he just lulled him to sleep. Just dribble, like between the leg, between the leg.
That is something I'm talking about in this video a lot. He will do that and then he'll just come like a hyena when you don't even expect it.
Yeah. So I remember he did between the legs, went to his right side, crossover left between the legs, and then like he was like in the mid-range area, and then he stepped back into the 3-point area. It was like on the right wing. So step back for the 3, and then our guy was he was already at the basket because he thought Jaden Hardy was driving.
Yeah, and this guy he's talking about, even though we're kind of laughing at him now for getting scored on, I'm not going to say he was like very skilled because he wasn't, but he was probably the most athletic guy on that team. Definitely the highest jumper, maybe one of the fastest runners, if not the fastest runner, depending on like what year we're talking about.
Yeah, if only he cared as much as he made it seem like he did. If only he put in as much effort as he says he cared.
Yeah, and that's a compliment. Like Jaden Hardy is scoring on the most athletic player, making it look like he's just scoring on freshmen. And like that's just so mind-boggling to me. And those 25 points I told y'all that he had at half against us my senior year, he was a freshman. Like just put that into perspective. A freshman scoring 25 in the first half. And in case you're curious how many points he ended the game with, he only ended with 30 because in the second half they were winning by a lot. It was one of those bad games for us, and his coach just didn't put him in too much. Probably just no reason to. Why risk having him get injured or anything? He probably could have had like 50 if he wanted to that game, but yeah, 30. 30 for the freshman.
Another plus that Jaden Hardy has that, you know, this is how you know you're big time. It was our home game, like what we were talking about when we held him to 8. We walked through, and so basically, sometimes during, before the games, you see each other on the other side of the bleachers, right? We look through to see Jaden Hardy. He's getting a massage. He has a personal masseuse.
Bruh, I might need to find out who that is. I know my mom and my girlfriend are getting tired of giving me massages every day.
You know who that is. You know who it is.
Who?
He was the one.
It's a guy?
It's a guy.
Oh, I'm a pass. Never mind. Never mind.
No, he's...
Alright, so next, you guys can just take our word for it. And trust me, I'm sure you will take our word for it. He's not ranked 5th in the nation for no reason, you feel me? But you see all these highlights right here of him pulling up for a jumper. To y'all, they may just look like a regular jumper. And I'll admit, that's how they would look like to me too if I had never played this dude. You see how the defense is like, looks like they're reacting really slowly to him pulling up? These people aren't reacting slowly to him pulling up, you guys. This dude's trigger is incredibly quick. Trust me, been there. Like, he'll be dribbling and you're 90% sure he's gonna drive to the basket. Like, he'll be doing those stupid head fakes. Well, I don't want to call them stupid. I just call them stupid because they were done against us, you feel me? But he'll be doing those hezzy head fakes and all that, and you're 90% sure he's either gonna drive to the basket or he's gonna start driving and then do a snatch back dribble or do a step back or something. But no, he'll make it look like he's gonna dribble again, and before you can even react to it, his jumper is already in the air. You see the defenders catching up, putting their hands up to close out, but by then it's too late. And he makes these defenders look like they're sorry. And I've never played these guys that are here on his mixtape, but they're probably not sorry players. His trigger is just that quick that he makes people look like their defense is slow. So yeah, and that's something you can for sure kill with at the next level. Like that's pretty insane. He probably got that quick release from watching my highlights. I don't know. Nah, let me not even talk. And y'all, if you know me, you know I don't like hype people up for no reason. But at the same time, I gotta give credit where credit is due. If this dude is legit in my eyes, I gotta admit it. I'm not gonna be like, nah, he's the next Julian Newman. Nah, he's a bust. Nah.
Julian.
Nah. I mean, I feel like I've kind of sneaked this Julian twice in this video. People probably think I hate him, but no shade towards Julian. I don't know. I guess my videos just get more likes when I talk about people. I don't know. So give this video a thumbs up. Prove my theory right.
Speaking on Julian though, Julian Strother, which is another top-ranked recruit from our division,
in like the top 60 or something. He's going to what, Gonzaga?
Yeah, Gonzaga. So essentially what happened is it was the first regular game of the season. They played each other. Coronado scored 100 on a team with a top recruit.
That's
right?
crazy.
And not only that, but they regularly blew teams out.
Yeah. Like, for real. I think my sophomore year, we were better than Coronado. We had a good squad. We just overall had a good squad. My coach's son, he was the second leading scorer in the state. And we had a couple big time guys, well, somewhat big time guys. I'm not talking about like NBA big time, but some better than average guys.
School district big guys.
Yeah, school district big guys. Thank you. So yeah, we were kicking Coronado's butt every matchup. But by the time I was a senior, I didn't even get to play that year. I didn't play conference games. Coronado was good. Just put it that way. Coronado was good. Yeah, and just kind of how we touched upon earlier, Jaden Hardy is so offensively versatile. He can do pretty much anything with the basketball in his hands. And even with the basketball not in his hands. That's what makes him such a good shooting guard. Granted, in Coronado's system, it kind of revolves around him. Like, it'd be kind of stupid for you not to revolve your offense around a guy who's ranked 5th in the nation, you feel me? But at the next level, let's say the offense doesn't revolve around him. He can move off the ball. He understands the game of basketball. So there really is no guarding him. Even if he doesn't have the ball, you still have to watch out for this dude. He understands the game. He reads the court really well. And then when he touches the basketball, it's pretty much over from there. Like, I don't know. At least that's what I've seen so far after playing him, after watching him on the bench my senior year, after watching him and my brother match up just recently. So that dude is a bucket, and the fact that he's already able to do step backs so effectively, he can pull the ball back, you name it. He can split a double team. His body control when he drives to the basket, and he finishes strong at the rim. And if you see him, like, he's not a big looking dude. I'm not saying he looks scrawny, like, I don't even know, just someone that's super scrawny, but he's not like built like a bodybuilder, you feel me? He just looks like a regular high school guard. Yet somehow his body control and his balance is really good for him to be able to finish strong in the paint. And I think that's something that's really overlooked in his game. If he was 6'8", I think it'd be over. Like, it would be over. Because he's already like 6'3", 6'4", and he can finish with contact in the paint. He can get to the paint on pretty much anyone with his little hezzies or his crossovers, and then finishing at the paint is just kind of the end of the battle. So yeah, like that dude on offense, he's James Harden. He's high school James Harden. Like,
along with being high school James Harden, the amount of stuff he gets away with.
True.
Like,
yeah, refs.
Like people will always say, "Oh, don't blame the refs." And I'm not gonna say us being blown out by like 37 my sophomore year was, due to the refs. But like,
dang, it was 37 your sophomore year?
I mean, it was probably around that, to be honest. It was for sure around that.
Dang.
Yeah, we ran a lot that day. But basically, right? So it's not only that, right? But it's like when people perceive you as so good, right? They won't see a foul. Right, I'm not saying it's like favoritism, but they just like.
But it is favoritism. He's still in high school, so he can't say it. But I've been graduated for 2 years. It's favoritism. Coronado High School gets favorited by the refs. Coronado, Bishop Gorman. If you're from Vegas and you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Coronado, Bishop Gorman, pretty much all the rich white schools, they get favored by the refs. And people thought Green Valley did, but I'm like, where? Like, we never got any foul calls. Like, so. Yeah, and he can't say that because it's not coming from him. He's still in high school. He's not saying anything bad. But yeah, those Coronado refs, they definitely give them all the calls. But let me be fair, even if Jaden Hardy was playing at like the most ghetto school in Vegas with the worst refs ever, he would still be averaging exactly what he's averaging now, you feel me? So it's not like the refs are just giving him free point. Like, the refs don't score for him, you feel me? But definitely, his school does get pretty much every call. Like, he could foul me and I'll get called for a foul for some reason. So,
and piggybacking off the fact that if he went to a bad athletic school, like
Chaparral.
Oh, they're kind of good this year.
They're good this year?
Yeah.
Dang.
They beat Foothill, or they almost beat Foothill. Almost.
Dang. Okay, like, real quick, sorry to interrupt you, but a few years ago when I was in high school, not my senior year, but before then, the good schools, goodish, I guess, Coronado, Foothill, Green Valley, and then Bishop Gorman, and pretty much like all the rich white schools were good. But he just said, what school did I just diss? Chaparral?
Chaparral.
Yeah. He just said Bonanza. I mean, Chaparral. I mean, Bonanza was trash too. I don't know if they're still trash or not. Are they?
I don't know.
Gotcha. But yeah, the fact that he said Chaparral is good now makes me feel like I've been out of high school for forever. Because when we saw them on the schedule, they weren't even in our conference. But when we'd see them in like a preseason or something like that, we'd be like, oh, this is another scrimmage game. Like, and no shame to them. Like, they're just in like a bad area and they don't have like the best equipment. They have great athletes, but yeah, that's not really their fault. So.
But if Jaden Hardy went to a school where he didn't have people transferring to join him, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
You're telling me Jackson Kohler truly was like, his parents truly were like, yes, let's move to Nevada for work. Baloney. I call it.
Do you know who Kennedy Kohler is?
No clue.
Okay, so he just mentioned Jackson Kohler. I know most of y'all probably don't even know who that is, but he played with Bronny's team, right?
Yeah, he did play.
Yeah, and on his mixtape, like, you can see LeBron coaching him and stuff. So Jackson's like a 6'10" power forward, and Kennedy, he was a year or two older than me. I think he was 2 years older than me, and he was one of the star players at Coronado, like my freshman or sophomore year. I think he would have been like a junior or a senior at the time, but I didn't even know that the Kohler family moved to Nevada for basketball. I didn't know that.
I mean, it could be not, but like he wasn't there the year before this year.
Oh, dang.
He wasn't there the year before this year, right? And then they just got this other kid named Dallas who wasn't there last year, but he's there this year.
Damn, the kid's named after a city?
Yeah, he's pretty big time, right? Big time with the ladies.
Oh, okay, my guy.
Light skin energy, you heard?
Yep.
But basically,
light skin living lavish.
Yeah, and then Jaden Hardy's getting some other top recruit going to Coronado next year.
Are you serious? Do you know who
I'm
it is?
serious. No, not off the top of my head, but I know it's going to be a headache when we play them next year. Because not only do they have 6'10" Jackson Kohler, but they have a lot of recruits coming in. But not only that, on top of the recruits coming in that are top tier, they just have good kids from the area.
Yeah, for real. Because Coronado is like in like a pretty rich part of town. I mean, Green Valley isn't too far away. Like our parents could afford a house there, like no problem. But yeah, they just have like the best training equipment. They have the best gyms nearby. So overall, they usually have a pretty good squad. But yeah, what John was basically trying to say is that even if what's his name? If Jaden didn't go to Coronado, he would still be getting buckets. You feel me? It just kind of helps the fact that he goes to Coronado and Coach Kaufman helps them get all these recruits and all that. But I respect their program. I know a lot of people hate on them, but I gotta respect their program. Anyone who stays at the top for multiple years in high school, you gotta respect. So that's that. And before we talk about Jaden Hardy's weaknesses, it's speculative, all right? Speculative that my brother dropped him. Now,
possibly.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm gonna show you guys the clip in like 2 seconds. But here's the thing, I wasn't at that game, all right? My brother sent me the clip and he told me I dropped Jaden Hardy. I looked at it and when I first saw it, I was like, no, you didn't. Buddy just tripped. The more I looked at the clip in slow motion, it might be possible that he dropped Jaden Hardy. So defend yourself.
I mean, it was a very tight game, right? At that point, I think. At the beginning of the game, it was tight. So he wanted to get a steal, get the momentum with a fast break dunk, right? It's just kind of how they play. And then next thing I know, he starts to guard me, right? Because we're on the wing, 4 out, 1 in. Little do I know, oh my goodness, I was scared. I was scared. When you're small or when you're younger, and then an older guy just guards you? Yeah, it was that type of energy. And next thing I know, I didn't want the ball in my hands. I'll be honest. And then, as you can see in the video, hopefully it's showing right now.
Yes, right? I'll pull it up right now.
Okay. See, I catch it. I do a spin move, half spin, just so I could protect the ball and I could pass it out.
You can't be afraid of him though.
No, because see, I was going to keep going, but he cut me off, and then I saw Felix Reeves Jr., number 5 right there in front of Jason Mensah, number 21. And I was like, if I throw this, it's a steal.
Yeah,
if I keep going, it's a steal. So
yeah, that kid looked like he was ready to steal it.
That's exactly what he was.
Yeah.
And then so.
Damn, your coach is bald to be bald. All these bald people in this clip. No, but okay, so at first to me, when I first see this, I'm like, okay, Jaden Hardy definitely tripped. But the more I look at it, if you see, it looks like Jaden thought that John was gonna go left. And because of that, he probably thought that he could poke his pocket and he stuck his hand out to try to get that steal. But then my brother picked the ball up and passed it. So it's like Jaden kind of reached for that, and my brother picked it up and was like, yeah, you're not reaching for this, I'm getting rid of it. And that's when he fell. But at the same time, when I look at their legs, it looks like Jaden could have just tripped on my brother's foot. So I don't know, like, so if someone asked you yes or no, did you drop Jaden Hardy? What do you say, yes or no?
Yes, if you had the opportunity to say you dropped Michael Jordan, would you say, no, technically, hell no.
Okay, all right, so there we go. But I want to know what y'all think. Did he drop Jaden Hardy or did Jaden Hardy trip? Now, I really don't know. It's hard for me to tell. If you ask Jaden, he'd say he tripped, obviously.
And if you ask the people that were taping that game, they say they don't have that footage. I would know, because that same game, it was the game right after Kobe died, right?
Damn, rest in peace. I don't know if they can see my jersey. No, they can't.
But they can see the basic colors.
Yeah.
So essentially, they had a whole ceremony. It was, to be honest, it was extra. Like, we knew what they were doing, but we just didn't like that energy. And so essentially what happened was they brought in this whole crew with speakers. They brought in a DJ to play.
Coronado has money. I'm telling y'all, they have money. I don't know what schools y'all go to. Whenever we showed up to Coronado, I was like, okay, Green Valley, people think we have money, but when we show up to
it's not Coronado money.
Yeah, it's not Coronado money, okay?
Yeah, it's like someone said, Lil Wayne, people look up to Lil Wayne thinking he has money. Just like the way Lil Wayne looks up to Jay-Z thinking Jay-Z has money. But Jay-Z looks up to Warren Buffett and he's like, yeah, he has money. See, so there's levels to this. There's levels to this.
Yeah. So that's crazy. But I didn't know they did all that for Kobe. May he rest in peace though. Him and his daughter and everyone
And then
else.
see, everyone on the team was wearing Kobe's.
Dang.
Or at least the main player. See, Jaden Hardy's wearing Kobe 10s. Then Felix Reeves ended up changing Kobe's at halftime.
You know how much money your school has to have for you to be changing shoes at halftime? Like, that's something NBA players do. I mean, granted, I think, no, I didn't do that because we had team shoes and our coach wasn't messing with that. But I think I always had like 3 or 4 LeBrons in my locker or something.
Yeah, you did.
That I ended up leaving there when I graduated, so whoever got those, you're welcome. But yeah, so you guys let me know. Do you guys think my brother dropped Jaden Hardy? And I wasn't at this game either, but I heard that Jaden Hardy got dropped by someone else. Was that a Green Valley game or was that someone else?
No, that was the home game at Green Valley my junior year. So this year, right? He didn't get dropped, but he got crossed like pretty bad. And then my teammate just made the floater right after he passed him. And I'm telling you, the whole crowd, whoa! But like all the people that were there recording, my friend has the clip. I'm gonna have to ask him, and I'm gonna see if I can give it to you. But
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. If you can give it to me, I'll throw it on here. But now that I've hyped up, and I mean my brother is giving him his praise too, but I'm not gonna let him give him too much praise. At the end of the day, they still gotta play each other. You feel me? So I'll give Jaden his praise. But now that I've praised him enough and said that he's the most offensively talented high school player in this class, and I've even compared him to James Harden, I gotta talk about the weaknesses. So first thing I see, dude is streaky as hell. All right. So, like my brother mentioned, he had 8 points when I went to go see him. Maybe I need to go see him more often, and that's when he doesn't score. So I'll go to whenever you guys match up.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So he had 8 points, and then another time I played him, I think he only had like 13. But 2 or 3 games after the game that I went to, where he only had 8 points, I'm studying for one of my classes or something, and I decide I'm done studying. I go on Instagram and I see a post saying that Jaden Hardy had like 60 points and just a crazy stat line. I don't remember the stat line off the top of my head, but I'll put it up here on the screen, and it's just insane. So that just kind of shows streakiness and kind of high volume, but at the same time, I mean, I'm sure it just has to do with the system that he plays in. But yeah, just streakiness, but I feel like when he gets to college, that's gonna go away, because I doubt in college he's gonna have the total green light. He might, I don't know what college he's gonna go to yet. But yeah, I'm sure that streakiness is gonna go away when he plays in a different sort of system. And the good thing about the streakiness is that he shows that he can score 60 points. So that's obviously a good thing. But the bad thing about the streakiness is that he shows that he can only put up 8 sometimes. And that's obviously not too good. And that's really the only main critic that I have on him. The dude is a bucket. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to critique a dude who's a bucket, who's ranked 5th in the nation, you feel me? But it's just honest criticism, nothing negative really. That's pretty much all I have to say on him. Is there anything else you wanna say? All right, John, so I appreciate you being here. Thank you. taking time out of your day, out of your night. You could be doing better things. I don't know what you would be doing, but anyway, this is more like a podcast style. I figured it's the only appropriate way to do this video since we've both played Jaden. So yeah, leave a like if you watch this video. Subscribe if you're still here. You might as well subscribe. It's been like 20 minutes, you know. So just hit the subscription button. Leave a comment down below, letting me know what you think. And that's about it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay up. Anything you want to say?
Dallas Mavericks for life.
Yikes. Dallas Mavericks for life. How many championships do you guys have? I know you have one in 2011. Do you have any more? Just one? All right.
Just one.
I'm a Laker fan. I would sit here and talk about all the rings we have, but I think my camera would run out of storage by the time I'm done with that. So Lakers for life. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Lakers 2020 championships. I've been calling it for like a year and a half now. 2020.
Delayed W. It's a delayed W.
Delayed W. Yeah, whatever. We'll take any sort of W. All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay up, and I'm out of here.